What's up, guys? Got a good one for you. We're going to call it the Claw Dawg. This fly produces lots of fish, big fish, all sorts of fish. Very, very wide used food source for guys, that can't beat a crawdad. Every body of water in the U.S. pretty much has them, so across the board, my favorite fly. So check it out. We'll see you guys on the water.
That's a big brown bro.
All right, we got 90-degree hook in the vise, little slotted cone. Put that guy on backwards. We're gonna make this thing balance. This is gonna be our Claw Dawg, one of my favorite flies to fish. So once we get that thread started, start right at the bend of that 90 degrees. Tie in our tails. Little clump. We got 5 strands of micro flex floss here. We'll tie it back. Work our thread back forward again. We'll stretch that material forward. Do a nice tight securing wrap. Work your thread back forward. Trim off that excess on the tails. We'll trim those guys again once we get that cone slid up there. We're going to take a little synthetic dubbing here just as kind of a filler. You can use bruiser blend, laser dub, ice dub, whatever you prefer. Just help build up a little bit more durable base. Something so this cone can't slip and slide around. And so once you get that dubbed up, we're going to test our cone. It's still a little loose, so we're just going to use some thread here to help fill in that gap. Test that cone again. There's a little wiggle room. We'll do one more pass on the thread. Then we'll tie that off, do a little whip finish. Check our cone. Yep, nice and tight. Around some super glue. Slide that cone all the way up. I like to look to make sure that eye is centered in that slot. That helps a lot with just keeping it nice and secure and balanced so everything rides nice and straight. And we'll get our thread started up again right behind the cone. We'll work ourselves forward until we get to right at the hook point there. Then we'll tie in some antenna. What I like to do is I like to take 2 strands of our flex floss here. We're going to rotate our vise, tie those in on top, stretch them forward. We're going to go quite a ways down the bend because we want these little antennas to be sticking up. So once you get to there, and you'll bring your thread back up to your starting point. Then we're going to tie in our body. There's going to be some chewing worm chenille. Different sizes for different hooks. This is a small, I believe on a size 6 or size 4. Works pretty well. So we're going to tie that guy in on top with a nice long strand to kind of help build up some bulk. And we're going to get that wrapped all the way up to the antenna, and then we'll bring our thread back to that hook point. I like to invert my vise here. Alright, once you get your thread tied in, or get your chenille tied in, get your thread back forward to the hook point, we're going to do some really tight compressed wraps here. And then once you get it down to the thread, tie that off on the bottom. I like using little hair clips to hold my chenille in a little ball, so that would be easier to manipulate and maneuver. Just gonna let that guy dangle. So our next material is going to be some claws. We're going to use little stripped zonk or some zonked pine squirrel in the crawdad rust orange. So what I like to do is I like to pull some material back. These guys are going to be about half an inch long. Take some of that fuzz, peel that off, and then we're going to just tie that guy right on the side of that hook shank there. And then what we'll do is we'll do that again, pair up another claw. Trim it, pull some material off, give yourself a nice little bare little tab of leather. Tie that guy on the opposing side of the first claw. We'll tie those guys down. Fill in this kind of valley with some thread. And then right in the middle, I like to take 2 strands of flex floss. And we'll cut them. They're about 3 inches long, maybe 4 inches. We'll cut them in half. So that gives us a total of 4 legs. And what I like to do is we'll take those guys and we'll tie them all together in a clump on top. And then we'll take the 2 legs and we'll spread them to either side. And then we'll put a little thread gap in between them. And then I'll pull the legs back, work my thread up to the cone. And then I like to take my legs and I'll do 2 soft wraps right at the cone to help them get out of the way of the chenille as I wrap them. And so I'll pull those claws forward and do about 2-3 wraps right behind the claws. I'll undo my legs and then I'll do 2 wraps in between the leg segments. Get 1, 2, then we'll pull the back legs back. We'll do 3, 4, a few more wraps. Tie that off right at the cone. Trim that down. 3 or 4 more wraps there. And then we'll do a whip finish. This fly is super effective, still water, fishing it under an indicator, slow stripping it with the floating line, sinking line. Really productive bug. I think just about everything in the water eats a crawdad. So then for here, the final trim I like to make, we'll slide all the legs, all the tails, everything back, and we'll trim those guys just past the cone. And that's going to be the Claw Dawg. Already in with fulling mill, so you guys should be able to tie your own or go buy some if you'd like. So check it out.